She posted, "Some boys never become men." After I refused to fight her ex, I replied, "Some men don't need to." When her ex got arrested for the assault I'd caught on camera, instead of fighting back, maturity got proven. I, 29 male, am sitting here with a black eye and a protection order against my ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, and somehow I'm the villain in her story. Let me explain how choosing not to throw a punch became the best decision I ever made. Been dating Cassandra, 27, for about 10 months. Things were good initially. She was fun, spontaneous, worked as a bartender at this upscale place. I'm a project manager at a construction firm. Not glamorous, but stable. The red flag started about 4 months in when she kept bringing up her ex, Dominic, 31. How he was so passionate, how they had crazy chemistry, how their relationship was intense. Cool, we all have history. But she'd compare us constantly. Dominic would have gotten us into that sold-out concert. Dominic never let anyone disrespect me. Dominic knew how to handle his business. Started to wonder why they broke up if he was so perfect. Her answer was always vague, too intense, needed space, that kind of thing. Last Friday night changed everything. We were at a local bar, not her workplace, just out with friends. I went to grab drinks, came back to find Dominic standing at our table, hand on Cassandra's shoulder, leaning in close. She was laughing, touching his arm. I walked up calm. "Hey, I'm Bryce. You must be Dominic." He looked me up and down, smirked. "So you're the replacement?" "I'm the boyfriend, yeah?" He laughed, loud. "Boyfriend? Cass, this is what you're dating now?" "This?" Gestured at me like I was furniture. Cassandra just sat there. Didn't say anything. Actually seemed entertained. "We were just leaving," I said. "Were you? Or are you scared?" "Here's the thing. I'm not a fighter. Never have been. I'm 5'10", 165 pounds. I do spreadsheets, not MMA. Dominic had 4 inches and probably 40 pounds on me, plus prison tattoos on his knuckles. The math wasn't hard. Not scared. Just not interested." "Not interested? Your girl's ex is right here disrespecting you and you're not interested?" "Correct." Cassandra finally spoke. "Bryce, are you serious right now?" "About what?" "He's literally challenging you and you're just standing there." "What would you like me to do, Cass? Fight him?" "For what? Your entertainment?" Dominic stepped closer. "Listen to your girl, boy. Man up." I pulled out my phone, started recording. Held it obvious, not hiding it. "I'm recording this interaction. Please step back." He slapped the phone out of my hand. It hit the ground but was still recording, camera facing up. "Now what, pussy?" I bent down to pick up my phone. That's when he kicked me, right in the face as I was crouched down. I fell backward, blood immediately coming from my nose. The bar erupted. People yelling, someone screaming. I stayed down, didn't retaliate. Just held my face and made sure my phone was still recording. Security rushed over. Dominic was yelling about me being a bitch who won't even defend himself. They dragged him out, and Cassandra, she stood up, looked at me bleeding on the floor, and said, "This is embarrassing. A real man would have fought back." Then she left, with him. Update 1. The aftermath has been educational. First, the practical stuff. Went to the ER that night. Broken nose, mild concussion, have all the medical documentation. Filed a police report immediately, provided the video which clearly showed Dominic assaulting me unprovoked while I was picking up my phone. Detective called Saturday morning. "This is pretty clear-cut assault. The video shows you trying to de-escalate, him attacking you while you were defenseless. We're pressing charges." But here's where Cassandra's entitlement went nuclear. She texted me Saturday afternoon. "Can't believe I actually called the cops. Dominic was just testing you and you failed. Now we're trying to ruin his life? He has a record already. This could send him back. How can you be so petty?" I didn't respond. Then came the social media post. Instagram story. "Some boys never become men. Imagine being so weak you call the police instead of handling your business. Couldn't be me." My buddy Ramon sent me screenshots. The comments were wild. Her friends hyping her up, saying she deserved a real man, calling me soft, saying Dominic was alpha for checking me. I posted my own story, just a photo of my hospital discharge papers with the caption, "Some men don't need to. We have laws for a reason." She exploded. 36 texts in an hour. Everything from calling me pathetic to saying I was ruining her reputation to demanding I drop the charges. Then she tried calling my mom. My mom told her I was being vindictive and destroying an innocent man's life over a misunderstanding. My mom, bless her, said, "Honey, my son has a broken nose. The only misunderstanding is you thinking that's acceptable." Sunday morning, Dominic got arrested. Turns out that record Cassandra mentioned? 2 previous assault charges and a restraining order from another ex. This was his 3rd strike in our state. He was looking at actual prison time, not county jail. Cassandra showed up at my apartment Sunday night, banging on the door. "Bryce, open up. We need to talk." I called through the door. "There's nothing to discuss. Please leave. You're going to ruin his life." It was just a fight. It wasn't a fight. It was assault. I never threw a punch. Exactly, you're a coward. A real man wouldn't kick someone in the face while they're picking up their phone. "Please leave or I'm calling the police." She kicked my door. Left a dent. I got that on my Ring doorbell camera too. Update 2. This week has been absolutely insane. Monday I got served with a restraining order from Cassandra, claiming I was harassing her. The audacity was breathtaking. Her evidence, my single Instagram post, and the fact that I refused to drop charges against her friend. My lawyer, yes, I had to get one, laughed when he read it. "She's trying to intimidate you into dropping charges. This won't go anywhere." Tuesday was Dominic's bail hearing. Denied. The judge saw his record, the video, and the fact that he'd violated previous restraining orders. He was staying locked up until trial. That's when Cassandra's family got involved. Her dad, Frank, called me, tried the reasonable approach first. "Bryce, I understand you're hurt, but Dominic's got a tough life. Prison won't help him. Can't you just let this go?" "Frank, he broke my nose. Boys will be boys. Haven't you ever been in a scrap?" "Not as an adult, no, I use words. That's the problem with your generation." "The problem with mine? Your generation is the one calling assault boys being boys. Goodbye, Frank." Then her mom tried. Left me a voicemail about how I was breaking Cassandra's heart. And she was devastated that Dominic was in jail. How they were meant to be together, and I was standing in the way of true love. The woman was literally crying about her daughter's ex, who assaulted me, going to jail. The entitlement was generational. Wednesday, I got an email from Cassandra's lawyer. They wanted to negotiate. If I dropped the criminal charges and signed an NDA, they'd drop the restraining order, and Cassandra would pay my medical bills. My lawyer's response was beautiful. "No. Also, please inform your client that attempting to use a frivolous restraining order to coerce a victim into dropping legitimate criminal charges could be construed as witness tampering." Thursday was when things got interesting. A woman named Mallory reached out on Facebook. She was Dominic's ex, the one with the restraining order against him. "I saw what happened on the news. I'm sorry you're going through this. If you need me to testify about his pattern of violence, I will." Turns out, Dominic had done almost the exact same thing to her boyfriend 3 years ago. Picked a fight, the boyfriend didn't engage. Dominic assaulted him. But that boyfriend didn't press charges because Mallory begged him not to. She regretted it ever since. "Cassandra was there that time too," she added. "She was dating Dominic then. She called my boyfriend weak for not fighting back." Pattern of behavior. Documented. Update 3. 2 weeks later. The restraining order hearing was yesterday. It went exactly as my lawyer predicted. Cassandra showed up dressed like she was going to church, trying to look innocent. Her lawyer argued I was harassing her by proceeding with charges against Dominic. The judge actually stopped him mid-sentence. "Counsel, are you seriously arguing that a crime victim pursuing legitimate charges constitutes harassment of a third party?" "Your Honor, my client feels threatened." "By what?" "The legal system working as intended." Then my lawyer presented our evidence. The video of the assault. The screenshot of her "Some boys never become men" post. The Ring doorbell footage of her kicking my door. The texts demanding I drop charges. The voicemail from her mother. The email trying to buy my silence. The judge looked at Cassandra. "Ma'am, you appear to be attempting to use this court to obstruct justice. That's a serious matter." Restraining order denied. But then the judge did something unexpected. He issued one against her. She couldn't contact me, come to my residence or my workplace. Cassandra started crying, but I didn't even hit him. "No, but you've been harassing a crime victim, which is its own form of assault." As we left court, her dad was in the parking lot, tried to confront me. You happy now? You've humiliated my daughter. Frank, your daughter humiliated herself when she supported my assault. You weren't even man enough to fight, and that's why I'm going home and Dominic's going to prison. Have a nice day. But the real satisfaction came that evening. Cassandra, despite the fresh restraining order, tried to get around it by having her friend Bethany call me. Cassandra wants you to know she's willing to forgive you if you make this right. Forgive me? For what? For embarrassing her publicly. Everyone thinks she's with an abuser now. She is with an abuser. Tell her any further contact attempts will be reported to the police. An hour later, Cassandra was arrested for violating the restraining order by proxy. Spent the night in jail. Final update. Dominic's trial was last week, took all of 2 days. The prosecution's case was simple. Video evidence, medical records, his previous convictions. Mallory testified about the pattern of behavior. Even the bartender testified that I tried to de-escalate. Dominic's defense? He provoked me by being disrespectful. His lawyer actually tried to argue that my refusal to fight was provocation. The prosecutor's response was perfect. So your client believes he has the right to assault anyone who won't engage in violence with him? The jury deliberated for less than an hour. Guilty. Aggravated assault. The sentencing was yesterday. With his priors and the fact this was a bias-motivated attack attacking someone for not conforming to his idea of masculinity, he got 4 years. He'll serve at least 2. Cassandra was there. She actually screamed when the sentence was read. Had to be escorted out. Violated her restraining order again by screaming at me in the courthouse hallway that I destroyed true love. Got arrested. Again. But here's the beautiful irony. Remember her Instagram post about some boys never become men? It went locally viral after the news covered the trial. Someone started a hashtag, "Some men use brains." Her employer saw it. The upscale bar where she worked, they have a zero-tolerance policy for employees who promote violence. She got fired. Her family's trying to spin it as cancel culture, but the bar owner, who I've since met, said, "I can't have someone who publicly supports assault serving alcohol to my customers." The civil suit is still pending. My lawyer says between the medical bills, lost wages, and emotional distress, plus Dominic's clear guilt, we're looking at a decent settlement from his insurance. Cassandra's mom still sends letters to my mom about how I've ruined 2 lives over a silly bar fight. My mom now has her own restraining order against her. Last I heard through mutual friends, Cassandra's living with her parents, jobless, with a criminal record for violating restraining orders. She's apparently telling everyone she's the victim of a weak man's revenge. Dominic's in state prison. He'll be 35 when he gets out, with a violent felony on his record. Me, broken nose, healed, fine. Still have a small scar, but whatever. Started dating Rebecca, a paralegal for my lawyer's office. She says the scar makes me look distinguished. More importantly, she thinks using your brain instead of your fists is the definition of being a man. Cassandra was right about one thing. Some boys never become men. They just get older, angrier, and eventually imprisoned. Real men don't need to prove anything to anyone. They just need to be smart enough to press record. And for anyone wondering if I regret not fighting back, not for a second. I've got my health, my freedom, my dignity, and a clean criminal record. Dominic's got a prison cell. Cassandra's got a criminal record and no job. Tell me again who won.